the Ghana Embassy has partnered with the US-based churches, professional medical associations, the Ghana Council across the US, and other associations. And the purpose is for them to raise funds to support against fight COVID-19 and to support Ghanaians both in Ghana and out here in the States. So this is really not, to me, I don't see this to be a political thing. It's uniting Ghanaians all over the world to support fight this pandemic, especially back home as well. And the funds being raised will be going towards improving the healthcare system, either by supporting healthcare infrastructure, buying modern tools, the equipment that Ghanaians will need, to fight this. We have Ghanaians who have lost their relatives here in the States as well, and the funds is supposed to help these people. So the embassy is calling on Ghanaians to come together and support with just $20 each from all of us. Already, some people have done donations already. It started already. People have given funds. Myself, Success Music, we also given as well. But we are urging everyone out there, like a Ghanaian, even if you're not a Ghanaian, but this is, because we are talking about Ghana. If you're a Ghanaian in the diaspora, try to support this with just $20 for us to fight COVID-19, in Ghana and with the affected ones here in the States as well. And also, there will be a virtual concert to create more awareness in raising the funds, and that's happening tomorrow. That's the 1st of May. So if you are a Ghanaian music lover, a good music lover who loves especially gospel music, because I know my brothers will be performing. I know for sure Sonnie Badu is performing. I know Brother Jometto and a whole lot still be performing. So you can stream live. It will be live on TV, and also you guys can go on the Embassy of Ghana, Washington DC Facebook page, to stream it live. I encourage everyone to watch and also share. All donations will be made available to the public, so you guys can check. We all can check and see what they're using the money for. So it's more accountable to all of us because we are the ones donating, and we have to keep track of what the money is being used for. So guys, this is about unity. Let's come together as Ghanaians and fight this pandemic. And I know we are going to win. God bless you all.
Welcome to a special edition of Diaspora Weekly. My name is Jermaine Nkrumah, and you're watching Diaspora Network Television, D-19. Today, we are blessed to have with us none other than His Excellency, Ghana's Ambassador to the United States. Your Excellency, welcome.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
All right. Before we start, I have to say, when I saw you on Times Square building, I'm like, how did you pull it off? how did you guys pull it off?
No, the company that was being floated that day, was being listed that day, invited me to come. He insisted that I showed up. And it's a company that I had tried very hard to get to go to Ghana. And the owner, even at that listing, said he had already been to Ghana, set up an office, and that they will start operating as soon as possible. And they are putting together other companies to come into partnership with them to deliver the business. Now, I think he invited me to come because I was able to persuade him to go and set up in Ghana, and he did go.
Well, that's good. I mean, the job of an ambassador to be ambassador for the country, and so far you're doing an excellent job with this Ghana Unites Against COVID-19. First and foremost, the name. The name, it sounds great. What's the idea behind the name of the virtual concert?
Well, Jermaine, I suspect that you've been in this environment for a while. And therefore, you have an idea as to how difficult it is to get Ghanaians to pull together. We have so many diverse organizations and whatnot. And sometimes it becomes very difficult, to get to pull together as people from one nation and a certain kind of loyalty nation. Now, this particular time, the issue that we are dealing with, it's a global issue. is an issue that affects everybody. And therefore, I do believe that whatever the segmentation is, whatever the differences are, whatever imponderables there are that make it so difficult for us to get together, this particular issue of this coronavirus ought to be able to pull us together as Ghanaians to support ourselves, and also to support our nation tackle a problem that everybody is having a difficulty dealing with. So that is where the unite comes, because unity will give us a lot of strength. It will give us a certain commonality or viewpoint on what we should do.
I mean, well, United States is perhaps, if you're looking at one country that has the most Ghanaians in the diaspora, I think United States should be number one. And for you to tout the unity aspect of it, it really shows that when you go into issues, you look at it from a strategic perspective. Because I can tell you there's a country in Europe that I'm not going to mention name, where there are two competing fundraisers. And that's a smaller country than the United States. So how did you get all of America to recognize that this is one basket that we all should put our effort in?
I believe that is the way to go, because if you are taking me as an ambassador, like all my colleague ambassadors, we represent this one country. We represent the president of this our country. And therefore, whatever we do ought not to have a certain kind of partisan twist to it, nor should it have a certain kind of regional or what have you twist to it. And especially on this issue of this virus, because it doesn't respect boundaries, it doesn't respect coloration, it doesn't respect educational background and such. The only thing we can do is to bunch together and figure out how to defeat it. So the unity bit of it is very, very crucial.
Very good, very good. Your target is $1 million. That's a lot of money. How are we going to get people to write a check?
I'm quite sure that if I push you a little bit, you will write a quarter of it off. But no, I look at it very simply. At least there must be 250,000 Ghanaians in this country. On the arithmetic that about 50,000 of those people are in no position to, as it were, contribute, either because of age or whatever, then at least there are 200,000 Ghanaians in this country who, if they really opened up their hearts and their pockets, will be in a position to make a contribution of $20 towards this cause. And if they are making that kind of contribution, raising $1 million should not be a big issue. And in fact, whilst talking about $20, already there are people who have contributed 5,000, 10,000, and that kind of thing. So I'm just basically asking for a certain kind of bottom draw contribution from all Ghanaians. And if it makes any impact on you at all, I've been going to a lot of Ghanaian communities to talk to them. And I remember with 2 or 3 of them, I made a joke, and I didn't mean it to be a joke, that looking at the shoes that the women wear, I believe that in every household, there are a lot of shoe boxes. So the women should pick one shoe box, and then every month they should drop $10 in that box. And if they are married, they should ask husbands to drop $20 in that box. So even by themselves as women, at the end of the year, they would have $120 that they would be prepared to contribute to any promotion that is on behalf of the country. And in fact, I'm trying to actualize this one, that I'm asking everybody, men, women, and some of the children can make contributions, that please put $20 in this pot because it is for a good cause. So the 1 million is not the outside.
Very good. Very good. And you know, it's interesting you mentioned women and their shoes, and you're right. I living in America, you see the women dressed to a party, and whatever shoe they wore, whatever dress they wore, they don't wear it again at all.
Sure.
And in America, we have something like garage sales. So I'm sure the shoes, they come like $200 and everything. After you wear it once, do a garage sale and donate the money to COVID-19, Ghana Unite against COVID-19.
Exactly. And because we aim to make this a certain kind of a permanent arrangement, whereby in the course of the year, or people who want to donate can donate, so that should we have another emergency, we already have a certain kind of platform to operate on. In fact, the idea of the garage sale is a wonderful one. In fact, most of the Ghanaian communities every year has one event, which usually end up in some kind of a party or reception or what have you. At least, you know, leading into the evenings, you know, whatever it is that you might call it, merrymaking. People can organize garage sales and, you know, get some monies out of the things that they don't actually need or use to contribute to, you know, this whole affair. Because I just want to remind our communities that being a member of the diaspora is not exactly a qualification. It is a responsibility. So they should look at that responsibility and constantly find ways of, you know, putting their widow's mite together to support the country should the need arise. And our country would always be grateful for that.
Very good. Is there a timeline to this, to reaching $1 million?
Well, as for the $1 million, my hope and my prayer is that by the end of the concert tomorrow, we would have achieved it. But even if we didn't, or even if we did, there is no timeline on this, because even the coronavirus that has prompted this hasn't given us any timeline at all. And therefore, we should continue. Yeah, we should continue making preparations to support.
How easy is it to contribute to it?
In fact, if you went to our website, there are all kinds of avenues to make contributions. Yeah, there are account numbers, you know, there's GoFundMe and all that. So basically, contributing is the easiest that one could, you know, look at.
Okay,
it's very easy to contribute.
I'm sorry, go ahead, please.
No, I just said that it's very convenient and easy to make a contribution.
Okay. Yeah. Now, in 24 hours from now, the virtual concert would have started. The artists, right. How did you decide on the artists? Because it looks like the bulk of them are gospel artists. Is that intentional?
No, it was not intentional at all. And the crux of the issue was that we want to make as much money as possible to help with this virus effort. And therefore, we were not in a good position, as it were, to pay the artists for their participation. So we essentially appealed to them to donate their talent and their time. And what we had to do was basically to provide the, as it were, the logistics for them to make that contribution. And I must say that, you know, Dr. Sonnie Badu has been so very helpful in terms of giving us his equipment and whatever to set this up. So we didn't, as it were, select people per se. We asked people to donate their talent and their effort. And this is what happened.
Now, I noticed that I just saw in working with this, I saw a video from Sarkodie. And in that video, he said he is stuck, I guess COVID-19 got him stuck in the United States. And I also noticed that he's not on the list. So now I know that some of these concerts, they have a dimension called surprise appearance. Are we expecting some surprise appearance from artists who are not on the list?
You probably will be the one surprise appearance. No, in the case of Sarkodie, I think there were some logistical problems with him making a contribution, and what we didn't want to do was to put pictures of people who were not actually going to appear. We had to make sure 100% that they are. So, in fact, I'm quite sure Sarkodie would be appearing because he himself has put in a promotional, sort of video to encourage other people to contribute. Yeah.
Okay, so this virtual concert, it means because it's virtual, you can, if you're an artist and you want to participate, regardless of where you are, you can figure out a way to become a part of it. How, if an artist is watching right now and they say, hey, this is great, I want to be a part of it. Is it too late?
Sure. I don't think it's too late because we have about 24 hours left, and it's only a matter of making a short video expressing your support or what have you, and then you send it to our communications director, and it will be put on the program. So in fact, if you could use your medium to encourage all the other artists who are in a position so to do, it will be very helpful for us.
What about celebrities who are not necessarily musicians, like showbiz people, actors and actresses? You have Boris Kujo in the United States, who's been very, very cooperative, encouraging people to come to Ghana and all that. Are we expecting?
In fact, well, unfortunately, we haven't been very successful in making contacts, with them. I know that I did speak to one person in the Ghanaian community who has contacts with these people, but then it has been difficult doing the follow-up on that because usually the telephone call goes in, doesn't get answered, and said, well, it's not taking messages and whatnot. But again, if any of those artists are available, and even if all they can do is a one sentence, what have you, and they sent it in for it will be very, very helpful. Very, very helpful.
Very good. And I can promise that from what we can do from D&T, we're going to push that angle and see if we can get some last-minute celebrity participants. Okay. How are the churches? Yeah. How are the churches reacting to it? Because they are going through quite a hard time. They don't have congregations anymore. They're not taking tithes. They're not taking collections. How are they reacting to this?
Well, interestingly enough, in the initial committee that planned this and debated, this a lot of the big churches were represented. I do appreciate the fact that maybe now they could say that, well, the tithes are not coming in, and therefore it might be difficult. But I do hope, and in fact, one church from the Houston, I think, sent us $1,000 today. I believe that the churches are in a position to contribute a lot, because the least they can do is to at least even ask their church members to even make the base, $20 contribution. And I'm quite sure they would. And then also, maybe I'm not much of a preacher, but I would want to remind the churches that when it was for 5,000 people to be fed, it was a little boy's lunch that Jesus took and made sure that it was used to feed the 5,000. So even if the tithes are not coming in, I'm quite sure most of the churches are in a position to go into their reserves and pick a bit of it to support this obviously very important project.
Very good.
And I appeal to them.
I know that in every city there's a Ghana association. There's a whole variety of names they give to it. Maybe this can serve as an opportunity for bragging rights for these Ghana associations, right? To determine who is more.
Yeah, we are not organizing this as some kind of a competitive what have you amongst organizations and churches and such. But at least each of them can take the attitude that their contribution is going to be an exemplar for others, to recognize. And I, for one, I'm just hoping that for once, Ghanaians would recognize that their country is in trouble, their country is asking for support, and they are going to be very happy to respond to that call. We all should note that, especially in somebody's country, like we are in the States, the one qualification that we all have is the fact that we are Ghanaian. That is our first qualification. And this is calling on us to honor that qualification.
Okay, well, I know you are not going to do that, but for me, Diaspora Network Television, I am putting a call out right now. I live in Houston. We have a Ghana Association of Houston. The president and his people, if you're listening, don't let Houston down, because I know Pakwesi and his people in Chicago, Ghana National Council of Chicago, they have plans. They have plans to send a loud message that Chicago is the city to beat. We know New York has the largest population, but they are ravaged by the pandemic, so maybe not quite there. Atlanta, Yvonne, if you're listening to me, don't let us down. And so all these cities that I'm mentioning, it's time to really step up as an organization and also encouraging your individual members to pay up. And so this was a pitch that I had to sneak in. And so please forgive me for that. And so my next question is, so is there going to be a virtual tour, a virtual road tour after this virtual concert?
Yeah, I believe we'll do that. At least we ought to be able to do a system of virtual town hall meetings. Number one, to thank those people who made a contribution. Number two, to actually even brief people as to the way forward. And number three, to use it as an occasion to cement the relationship between all these communities. Yeah, because at the moment, that aspect of unity of Ghanaians is quite important. And in fact, since this virus came, fortunately, there are lots of Ghanaian professionals, especially those in the medical and the care areas, who have been making inputs and whatnot. And I think that is a pool of talent that we ought to be able to, tap, if for nothing at all, even for briefing our own citizens who may have health issues or what have you. We are not saying that nobody should go to their doctor or what have you, but at least we can have people whom we can identify with, who would give us maybe extra, professional advice or what have you. That is what communities are supposed to be built on.
Very good. The consular officers around the country, how many are they now? I know there's New York, there's Houston. Is there another one or others?
Yeah, we have one. We have one in Arkansas. Yeah, but I think
okay.
we have requested for quite a few more to be appointed, and we did send them a list, back home, and I'm quite sure it's being considered. But with the spread of the population, and I think we would want to bring our services a bit closer, to people.
Okay.
So I'm expecting that it's an issue that is being actively considered.
How are the existing ones playing a role in this Ghana Unite against COVID-19?
Well, our consul in New York is doing quite a lot. Our consul in Houston, because we have closed the embassy and therefore consular services have been suspended. The rules that they are supposed to be handling, obviously has had to go to the back burner. But insofar as actively getting involved, with this particular concept and the idea of raising money, I'm quite sure that the others are in their own way trying to get the people that they deal with to make a contribution. And the thing is, that with that said, I'm also, for instance, expecting that all those people who went to Ghana in the year of return would be in a position to at least consider giving us $20. Or all those people who offered to go to Ghana to even participate in some of these things would also, be prepared to help us out.
Yeah, do we have channels into those communities? Because the people, the African Americans who came to Ghana on the year of return, the bulk of them had a very good time, and the reviews were very great. And so I think something like this, if you have channels into them, they would want to participate.
Yeah, and in fact, we believe that the concert tomorrow and all the publicity that we have made, including yours, is going to at least prompt them to be able to recognize that, the nation that they obviously find so fascinating is asking for a little consideration, and therefore they should consider it a beautiful thing to do to make a contribution.
Well, finally, I want to first thank you for making time with me. But finally, I know you do an excellent job. You did an excellent job as an Ghana's ambassador to Japan, and now in the United States, you are actually amazing people. But for now, I want you to put your ambassador hat down and pick a new one called an MC, a master of ceremony, and pump me up. Why should I, what can I expect from this Ghana Unite Against COVID-19 concert?
As I've mentioned twice before, this is a very critical issue for the whole world. And I do believe that you cannot get better satisfaction than sitting back at some point and talking about what this virus tried to do to all of us, and you haven't survived it, and just knowing that there was a little drop that you put in a pail that helped in conquering this virus. It is the kind of feeling that you can't afford to miss. It's a kind of feeling you can't buy. It's a kind of feeling that lifts up your soul. And I, for one, I don't find it very easy asking people to part with their hard-earned money. But for this particular project, I would want to believe that people would be prepared to part with some of their hard-earned money. Because it is a matter of the heart. I learned recently that giving is the one thing that the blind can see, and it is the one thing that the deaf can hear. Join in with all of us, and we'll all be very happy you did. Get up and support Ghana.
Thank you so, so much. And I am going to add a spice to this. This is unplanned, but a spice to this. I know people are holed up at their homes. They can't go out all over the world. They get to watch this. Here's what DNT wants to add to this. If you are at home, you like the music, and you want to dance and videotape yourself with your dance moves, send it to us, and we have a little competition to see who has the best dance move in the Ghanaian diaspora all over the world.
That would be wonderful. And if anybody is interested in how I look at it, the music that you put on is this one Ghanaian highlight music which says, "Show your love."
There you go.
And that's true. Sure.
Okay. Very good. Right. So send your videos in. The embassy, I mean, they love to see your videos. When you send them into DNT, we'll share it with them. The WhatsApp number is a Ghana number, 027-208-3688. And we want to make this fun. We want to make this fun because you know what? You don't have any choice. You're stuck at home. And now you get the embassy has put together some of the amazing Ghanaian artists around the world, and they're going to perform and give you some very amazing music. I don't want you to watch this sitting down. I want you to get up and I want you to dance and I want you to videotape yourself dancing and send the videos in. We'll share it with the embassy. Your Excellency, you've been great. I really, really appreciate you, what you do before COVID-19 and what you're doing to raise awareness and money for Mother Ghana. DNT thanks you for your time and for what you do for Mother Ghana.
And let me thank you for, giving us this opportunity to interact with the community. And I'm counting on you at subsequent times when it becomes very necessary to, ask for the same kind of support, and I'm quite sure that you will give. And I would want to thank all the Ghanaians for the gift of allowing me into their homes to talk about this particular issue. And I'm hoping that at the end of tomorrow, one would be able to come out and tell the Ghanaians that thank you for being there when it mattered. Sure. Thank you very much.
All right.
You are most welcome.
Your Excellency.
All right.